thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Senator Kupek, for bringing this bill. Senator Kupek and I have been working on this for the last year plus. I actually introduced Senate File 314 last session, and we have this bill providing some more energy behind this effort, Madam Chair and members. So I'm grateful that you're hearing this bill today, and I'm going to talk a little bit about safety. And one of the misnomers in Minnesota among some of our people are, I think, really corrected by some of the information. I've handed 3 handouts to you. The first one is a publication put together by the Pennsylvania General Assembly. It's a thick packet. If you turn to page 43, members, on that, you'll see in the 3rd paragraph, and I'm going to read it to you. This was commissioned by the equivalent of the House of Representatives in the state of Pennsylvania in 2007. It's the only study that I am aware of, and I have worked with nonpartisan staff in both the House and the Senate over the years to try to find everything we can on this topic. And this is really the nuts and bolts science, ballistic comparison between saboted slugs and rifle projectiles. So I'm going to read it. It's just a couple of sentences. It says, shotguns firing modern sabot slugs have a larger danger area than the .30-06 rifle when the angle of elevation is approximately level. Members, that's 0 degrees when you're pointing at a target with your rifle or shotgun, at level with the ground. Hence, given this firing condition, the shotgun is riskier than the rifle. In other words, the typical hunter discharging a 12-gauge shotgun fitted with a rifled barrel firing a 50 caliber saboted modern high-velocity ammunition at a deer on level terrain is riskier than a hunter firing a .30-06 with a 150 grain expanding bullet at the very same deer. And that is the ballistic, engineering approach or question. It's really the only research we know of about the safety, and it says when you're deer hunting, Madam Chair, members, it says that actually rifles are safer. Go back to what the Minnesota deer hunter testifier said. Looking at one of the other publications I handed out to you is a 2022 Hunter Education Annual Report from the Wisconsin DNR. If you turn to page 16, and I think I had it tabbed for you, you will see there they say and really talk about the 4 different important pieces of firearm safety. And as a former Minnesota DNR firearm safety instructor myself, when my daughter was firearm safety age, I can tell you these, and this is exactly what's trained to our youth in Minnesota as well. And they talk about always identifying your target, what is before it and beyond it. Having a safe zone of fire and safe backstops are equally as important as knowing your target. Members, when you have a scope on a rifle, you can see the target, the backstop, and what's in front of the target many times better than you can with an iron sight on the end of a shotgun barrel. If you turn to page 17, you will see the statistics that the gentleman talked about. 2013 is when their law went into effect where they allowed it statewide. Actually, I hunt and have since I was 12 years old in Wisconsin, and I can tell you they had headed in this direction progressively over time, and then 2013 it went completely statewide to allow rifles statewide. And you can see we are at the lowest point of incidences in the state of Wisconsin in their history of doing this report. If you turn to page 18, you can see total hunting incidents since 2013 have decreased on a trend line there on top of the page. On the bottom page 28 or page 18, you'll see the total incidents per 100,000 hunters, also diminishing with a very similar curve. And members, that part is really highlighted in page 22, where they talk about 1967 in Wisconsin, their hunting education program started. 264 incidents in 1966. In 2022, the lowest in their history, 12 incidents in the state of Wisconsin. And lastly, the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel article you'll see there is they were in discussion about transitioning over to allowing rifles statewide in the state of Wisconsin in 2013. You'll see there on the third paragraph down or so, in 2023 or 2003, in a DNR survey, 76% of Wisconsin hunters then used a rifle and 24% used a shotgun. Okay? And the data obtained during 1998 to 2008 showed 42% of the shooting incidents in that state during that time period involved shotguns. So nearly twice as many of a percent of the injuries were from shotguns as the use of shotguns themselves in the state of Wisconsin in that time period. That's instructive for us, and Senator Kupek, I'm hopeful that we can remove your amendment. I've been in discussion with the Olmsted County Sheriff and am currently in discussion with their county board members. Madam Chair, I'm sharing this information with them and also with Dodge County. I would like to see, and I think probably many in this room would like to see, the hunters in the state of Minnesota be able to use the firearm that is the safest firearm for them to be able to use to hunt deer in this state, and we certainly don't want Olmsted County to be left out. Thank you, Madam Chair.